Hi everyone, welcome to this channel GCP for Dummies. This series is based on the Associate Cloud Engineering exam provided by Google Cloud. We're going to go step by step in our prep for this exam. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe, and I wish you the very best of luck in your exam. So far in GCP, what we've done is we've gone through everything bit by bit, so let's have a quick recap before we do some questions. We had compute resources, storage options, networking, and specialized services. These are the cloud services. In compute resources, we learned about IaaS and PaaS, which are compute engine and serverless computing, and we went a little bit further, looking at virtual machines as a compute engine IaaS, and then app engine and cloud functions as PaaS serverless computing. In addition to those two, we also have managed Kubernetes clusters as a compute resource. Next, we went through storage options, and we went through object storage, file storage, and block storage, and cache. Object storage, we said, is going to be cloud storage, file storage is cloud file store, block storage is block storage, which is persistent or ephemeral, and then we have cache, and we went through some negatives of using cache. We also had a look at networking by having a look at DNS and load balancing. And in the future videos, we'll be looking at VPN and VPC. We defined firewalls, and then we moved on. In specialized services, we had a quick look at a PG API for managing APIs. We had a look at data analysis services such as BigQuery, Dataflow, Dataproc, and Dataprep. And then we moved on to have a look at specialized services in AI and machine learning, which included AutoML, ML Engine, Cloud Natural Language Processing, and Cloud Vision. Now that we have a good overview of what we're expected to have a look at and learn, we can go on and do some questions. I'd like to point out that these questions just test your understanding. They are not what the exam will be like, but they're here to see if you've understood what we've gone through so far before we move on and go in to specific topics deeper. Let's go. So we're looking at this first question. I'll read it out and then we'll pause for 3 seconds. You can pause for longer when you need to on your YouTube video. And here we go. What is the basic unit of cloud computing? Is it servers, firewalls, IP addressing, or virtual machines? Pause the video and answer it. I'm hoping by now you've paused the video and you've answered it. And this is a very basic definition of virtual machines. We said virtual machines are the basic unit of cloud computing. On that you can add storage and you can use various things, but the basic unit of a cloud computer is virtual machines. Cool, next. How many servers do you need to run Cloud Vision? 2, 5, as many as you need, or none? Please pause and answer. So it can't be 2 and 5 because that's too specific, and we said that the whole point of having cloud and being on the cloud is it makes you have elastic resource allocation. So it can't be 2 and 5. And in the exam, it's best to work through elimination, so don't just straight away eliminate anything unless you have a reason to. We have a reason to eliminate 2 and 5 because they're too specific and it's not elastic. As many as you need, that's a potential answer, and none, that's also a potential answer. So let's reflect back about what we know about Cloud Vision. We've previously discussed that Cloud Vision falls under AI and machine learning in specialized services. And initially, we said that specialized services are serverless services, which means you don't actually need a server to run Cloud Vision. So the answer here is none. Next. What is Cloud File Store based on? DNS, NFS, VMs, XFS? Please answer. So let's have a look at our options. DNS is domain name system. That's for naming domains, so it has nothing to do with cloud storage. Next, NFS. That sounds right. let's have a look at our other options. VMs. Well, you can attach storage to virtual machines, but we're not looking at basing anything like that on it. When we say what's it based on, we mean what sort of system is it based on. The option XFS is a different type of file system, but that's not covered at all in GCP for this exam, so it can't be the right answer. And therefore, the right answer must be Network File System, NFS, option B. Next, what do we need to do to create a VM? 1. We need a name, a machine type, a boot disk, and a region. B. We need a name, a machine type, CPU, boot disk, and a region. C. Boot disk and name only. D. Machine type, name, and boot disk only. Please feel free to pause again. So by now, I hope you have answered the question and we can work through the options. So we've previously said that you definitely need a name, which is why it's an option on all A, B, C, and D. So we can be sure of that. Now, from the process of elimination, another common thing on here is machine type, and you'll find with questions in this exam, often there will be things in common between the options, and that's the way you can eliminate which is the right answer by looking at what the differences are. So machine type must be important, and we've said that's one of the things. Boot disk type as well, and that leaves us between options A, B, and D. Now, if we're looking at option D, we can eliminate that it's not the right answer because it doesn't specify where you want the VM to be. Usually, well, always, you will need to specify a VM and a VM region or a zone. That way, Google Cloud or the cloud provider knows where you want to locate this virtual machine in which data center it owns. That way, you have the least latency and you have the highest availability for your users. So if you have a higher distance, if you're in the US and you decide to have your machine in Asia, that distance will create a little bit of latency if somebody is querying from the US. Instead, you'd prefer to have it closer to where you want your offices to be. So it can't be option D. So we're left with option A and B, and A and B, the only difference is CPU, which is a little bit of a trick that I've played. Machine type specifies CPU and memory. It tells the Google Cloud or whatever cloud provider you're on what the machine should be able to do, what it should be able to run. Some machine types have a GPU, some don't. And the reason why we just call it machine type, because you can specify CPUs, GPUs, and memory in it. So option B is in a way correct, but machine type already includes what CPU, and therefore option B can't be right. It's listing it as a separate thing. So here it would be option A. So for now, I think we should wrap up this introduction to the series. I hope that you've gotten all of those questions right. If you haven't, please note down which section is related to the question you got wrong, and go back and rewatch the video specific to that. Next, we'll move on and we'll dive deeper into specific topics. So if you're not getting these questions right now, it would be better to go back and consolidate your understanding before we move on. Having said that, I wish you the very best of luck. I hope you enjoyed these videos. Hit like and subscribe, and let's learn more about GCP. Good luck.